Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about the importance of design and my first car. Alright, so today I want to answer a question that came in a couple of days ago from Daniel Vieja. Daniel says, "Hey Eric, how much of a deal is good design for an app? I could do all my apps, but the design is not that good. Will it be awful for users' reception? Thanks." All right, so good question, Daniel, and I know it's one I've probably talked about at least once or twice before, but is design important for an app? Absolutely, it's hugely important. And you can talk about design in two different ways. Like as a software developer, as a coder, as the one actually doing it, there's the usability design. Like, are the buttons in the right place? Is it structured well? And that's I still consider that part of design. Like you could, but then you got the icon, and the icon is something that's completely different. And that's one where, like you, Daniel, I'm terrible at design. But the icon is important. The icon and the design and the design of the application and the screenshots, all that stuff is important, even when it shouldn't be. You see, some people are really superficial and they're going to go based on design alone when all other things are equal. I say that because I'm one of those people. Now, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you'll know that my dream car as a kid was a Ford Mustang. I always wanted a Ford Mustang, and then a few years ago I finally got one, and I had one for a couple years until the ups and downs of my business. You know, I don't have it anymore, but I finally got my Ford Mustang, and I have to tell you, I knew nothing about the Ford Mustang. I mean, I knew all the stuff about it, but I couldn't tell you how many horsepower it had. I don't know the size of the engine. I just knew it looked cool. I'm superficial and shallow, but sue me. So, you know, looking at two different cars in the car lot, I see one that looks really cool and one that could be better quality, cheaper, better in every other way. I still went with the cool looking one, but that's just me. And if you think about it, when somebody's searching for an app on the App Store and they see two apps coming up side by side, one of them has a really good icon and one of them has a terrible icon, then they're going to probably go with the one with the nicer icon first, if all of the things were equal. Now, I wouldn't say that design is the most important though, because this is like, once you get to people using it, then they become disappointed. If you saw the two icons next to each other and one had 1-star ratings and one of them had 4-star ratings, you're going to go with the 4-star regardless of what the icon looks like, because that's different. Then you know the quality of it. Everybody buys something or they download an app because they want the quality of it or what it's going to give them, not because of design alone, but the design is kind of that little bit of sugar that gets them in. I'm going to tell you about another car that I bought. My first ever car, I was 19 years old. I was, in the Army. I was just stationed in Hawaii, and I went to a used car lot and I had a certain amount of money I could afford, which wasn't much, and I looked at these different cars, and one of them was a 1980s Subaru, which just looked awesome. I thought it looked cool. It had little lights that flipped up, right? There were other cars too, but I went with a flashy looking one. And it broke down after like 3 days, right? It was the worst thing ever. Like, I kept going back to the car lot. They were like, "Nothing we can do for you." And everybody was saying, "You need to take them to court and sue them," and all this kind of stuff. And I was just a kid, right? I was 19 years old. I didn't know what to do. And it was a terrible experience, and I'll never buy a Subaru again. It was the CV joint kept coming out, if you want to know the details of it. But it was just like a bad decision. I went for the flashy instead of the practical. And, ideally, you want your users to have both, right? You are a software developer. You could give them a good user experience. You just need that nice little bit of sugar to get them in. And sometimes it's worth hiring a designer, if for nothing else, for that icon. Get a really nice icon. I've talked about this before. A lot of times you look at Google Play, a lot of the icons look like clip art. Like they just look bad. And some of them look overly designed, like they're really busy, like they wouldn't look really good on a small icon. So you think about something simple but classy and elegant, which is, again, not being a designer myself, is one of those things, you know it when you see it, but you can't describe it to anybody. So yeah, design is important, but it's not nearly as important as the functionality. But it is important to get them in the door, to get them to finding out. I mean, there's lots of apps that have had terrible designs that I've done really well. Tasker is one on Android that I thought was just terribly designed, but it was like so useful. Everybody loved that application. But you know, that happened from word of mouth. So if you have word of mouth on your side, then you're good. But you know, you're really talking about that first thing. Somebody searching and they see your app and other people's apps, the design of the icon and the design of the application is going to make all the difference. That's my opinion. You guys might disagree with me. Let me know. As software developers though, and as technical people, we're all about the substance, really. You know, we don't think about the design a whole lot. You know, we just want it to work properly and have a good user experience. So let me know if you guys disagree with me. Great question, Daniel. Again, sorry for answering that again. If you guys have seen the previous video where I talked about it. But anyway, that is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.